Welcome back guys to another GTA video, and in today's one I am going to be covering what is Mission Impossible in the Arena War Career Progress. And I'm afraid to say this one really is Mission Impossible, unless that is, of course, you've got a very eager, well I wouldn't say eager, but unless you've got a friend that is willing to jump in and help you out. We'll jump in and have a look at the career progress just in a minute or so, but the two main things that you're aiming for is, as you can see there, the sponsorship tier. I'm on level 30, you need to attain level 50, and the skill level. As you can see, I am way down at skill level 2, but you need to reach level 20 in your skill level. And moving into the career progress itself for the adversary modes, as you can see, tier 1 is set up an arena workshop. Tier 2 is to win an arena mode, and that can be anyone, but you do also need to reach skill level 5. Now we're not going to worry about that one until tier 4. Tier 3 is to reach sponsorship tier 25 and win all the arena modes. Now as you can see, once I do expand that, it does give you a list of all the arena events that you do need to take a win in, and that is Bomb Ball, Buzzer Beater, Carnage, Flag War, Games Master, Here Comes the Monsters, Hot Bomb, Tag Team, and of course Wreck It. As for the sponsorship tier, again you don't need to worry about until this tier here. This is the important tier, so you do need to unlock all Platinum Awards for the Arena Wars, earn skill level 20 in the Arena Wars, and reach sponsorship tier level 50. Now don't worry about the Platinum Awards, you will attain them as you progress up the skill levels. But jumping in to have a look at the Platinum Awards, as you can see, you are getting one Platinum Award for each and every skill level that you go up. So by the time you reach level 20, you are going to have at least 20 Platinum Awards. So you don't need to worry about that one. As for the skill level itself, as you can see here, the skill levels, you do need to win 210 consecutive matches to reach level 20, and you can see how that's worked out. If we have a look at level 2, that is, you've had one win already and you need a further 2 wins to reach level 2, bringing you a total of 3 wins. That works all the way down. As you can see, level 20, you take your previous 190 wins plus 20 further wins to give you 210 wins. Hence the reason I called this the Impossible Challenge, because without a friend you are unable to get those 210 consecutive wins, especially in free roam. It doesn't matter how good you are in Arena Wars, doing this in free roam with randoms, you are always going to come up against someone bigger, someone better, that is going to take that one win away from you, and that will reset you all the way back down to skill level 0. So you do need a willing friend that is happy to help you out on this one. But there you can see, if you haven't started out yet, you will need to go into Arena Wars to actually purchase the workshop. The basic workshop comes in at just under $1 million, but a fully upgraded one, it cost 2.65 million. But going back and having a look at the individual events, the first one we're going to play through here is Wreck It. And this is in fact just a simple race. Well, I say simple. Now the bonus with this event here is that as it is a race, it will count towards your race wins and also fastest lap times if you happen to get a fastest lap during the race. Now this was initial footage from me starting out, and this was in fact against some randoms, and as you can see I did actually take the win there. The only downside is it is 10 laps, and with that first win you can see I reached skill level 1. Now the downside to doing it with randoms that I was speaking about is that if this happens and you lose, you are reset back down to 0, skill level 0, 0 wins. Now imagine doing that when you're sitting with 198 wins all the way back down to 0, how annoyed would you be? The next game mode that we are going to take a look at is Carnage, and this is actually one of the ones that we repeated on the way to get my 210 wins. With Carnage, it is basically just to survive. Take out the enemy or the other player and you will win. As you can see, I've got Ruff in beside me on my team. He jumped in alongside me to get some of the wins that he needed, and we've got Grey Guts in his meme account. all he did was take himself out and gave us the win. The important thing to make sure of if you are doing it with multiple people at the same time is to select last team standing and not last man standing, as if you do select last man standing, only one person can win. And as part of tier 4 you do need to reach sponsorship tier 50 like I pointed out, but you don't really need to worry about that one, as with every win you do attain AP points which goes towards your sponsorship tier. Now by the time you reach skill level 20 you will have amassed more than enough points to get you across that tier sponsorship tier level 50. Moving on to the next game mode, and we have Games Masters. The aim of this game is to attain as many points as you can. As you can see up in the centre of the screen at the top there, you can see the score is currently 0-0. Each player takes turn collecting checkpoints while the other player tries to take that person out. You can see that Greyguts is down trying to take some checkpoints while I am in the spectator box. Well, I'm actually in the RC Bandito and I'm going to try and take him out. The hard bit is just actually finding which level he's on, but before I can reach him, he takes himself out. It will then switch over to my turn to collect checkpoints, and because Greyguts scored 0 points, all I need to do is hit 1 checkpoint and I am the winner of this game mode. There we have it, the single checkpoint win. And as you can see, once we get to this screen here, I've reached skill level 4, which is a total of 10 consecutive wins. The next game mode up is Flag War, and in this one, this is another points time based one, in which you need to go and collect the opposing team's flag and deliver it to the drop off location. Now here you can see I've not played this for a while. I forgot there was in fact the purple flag that I need to collect and not my own flag. So all you're doing is heading over to the opponent's flag, which is usually up on this area up here. And Greyguts did in fact try to take himself out, but it's not PvP, it is the points based and time based, so we do need to let that time in the bottom right there run all the way down to 0. Unfortunately, so this will take a little bit of time just to complete this one, but once you've picked up that flag, it's delivering it back over to the yellow marker here, and at this stage I am winning. I went on just to kind of pass the time and collect some more flags, ended up collecting 5 flags as the timer runs itself out, and that is another win. Now, like I alluded to earlier on, there are different game modes that you can do that are a lot quicker. This is another one of them. This is Hot Bomb, and the aim of this one is not to have the bomb by the time the timer runs out, but thankfully this is not a time based one, this is purely PvP. As soon as someone dies, that is it, match over. The bomb itself is assigned randomly once the timer actually starts. As you can see, I've got the bomb here, and the aim is just to pass it on to Greyguts, and he can either sit and wait for that bomb timer to run out or take himself out. The other option, of course, that we do have is that we can also take out Greyguts before that bomb timer runs out, because as soon as he dies, that is it, match over. And that's especially useful if you have someone that's helping you out that does go AFK during all this. And that is one option for the person that is helping you out to complete all this, is to just to sit back and go AFK doing absolutely nothing. As you can see here, we are looking at the next game mode, which is Bomb Ball. It is another one of these time and points based ones, so we do need to let that 5-minute timer run out. But the aim of the game is here just to get the opposing balls into, first of all, the opposite half, and if possible into the goal area here. As you can see, you get 3 points for every goal scored. You also get an additional point for every ball in the opposition half. Greyguts was AFK during a lot of the arena wars where he was helping me out. The only downside to that is the load screens and the waiting times, because obviously you're waiting for the countdown timer rather than the other player raiding up. But here you can see we're coming down to the end of the 5 minutes, and I'm just kind of messing about with Greyguts being AFK. I'm taking full advantage of that and knocking him out the arena everywhere. But with that one completed, I have in fact reached level 7, which is 28 consecutive wins. Moving on to the next game mode, we have Buzzer Beater. And this one isn't in effect a race, so it's the furthest player ahead that does in fact win, but it's based on checkpoints. So whoever's reached the furthest checkpoint at the end of the time does win. So as you can see, there's 2 sets of checkpoints. You can go for either one, but as soon as you hit a checkpoint, here you can see I'm in second. I hit one checkpoint, I am now in the lead. The only downside, what I didn't realise until after the fact, was that every time you hit a checkpoint it adds additional time onto the full time. So best thing to do is for one person to not do anything. If you are doing it yourself, hit the first checkpoint, go into first place and let that timer run down. As you can see there, I was trying to take Greyguts out, but that didn't work, so Greyguts did in fact come back at that point and he took himself out, which did end the match. As you can see here, I've now reached skill level 8, and that is 36 consecutive wins. Moving on to the next game mode, and it is Here Comes the Monsters. Now with this one, I'm not entirely sure if you can take the other person out and that will count as a win, but it is based on the timer on the bottom right once again. One player is in a Bigfoot vehicle and the other player, as you can see, myself, is in a Mini, and it's basically just survive until the end. You can, as the Mini player, jump into some of the turrets and try to take the other person out, but they're fairly weak and do very little damage, so we just waited for the timer to run out. Next up is Tag Team, and this again was the third and final one that we used in rotation, along with Carnage and Hot Bomb, to complete all 210. This one is a PvP, and it is quite simply take out the other player and you win. Greyguts himself was having absolutely none of that and decided just to take himself out, preferring that way rather than be taking him out, but that did in fact bring up a skill level 9, which was 45 consecutive wins. Now here you can see at the end of each match you will be shown a selection screen. Now like I said, we did have 3 on rotation. You will always have either Hot Bomb, Carnage or Tag Team as part of those 6 available game modes to select from. Those 3 game modes are by far the quickest because they are PvP and not time based, and it also allows the player helping you out to take themselves out. And even if the other person helping you out is AFK, even in Hot Bomb, all you need to do is drive up and tag him to pass the bomb onto him, and you can then shoot him to take him out as well. Once again, looking at the end screens here you can see we do have 2 options. We've got Hot Bomb and Tag Team, and we are going to go for Tag Team, as once again, like I said earlier, this is PvP based, so it's just a case of taking him out, or once again he decides to take himself out. Now in terms of vehicles, as you can see, all of these matches that we are doing towards the 210 wins is on the death bikes. These are by far the easiest vehicles for the other person to take themselves out on. All they have to do is do a jump on the vehicle itself, lean themselves back so as they're landing on their head, which then forces them off the vehicle. As soon as they're forced off the vehicle, that is then being taken out. So if you do have a friend that is helping you out that is worried about their KD, if that is still a thing these days, this is the best option for them, because taking themselves out, as Greyguts demonstrates masterfully there, it doesn't affect the KD of the player. So that's probably the best way to complete those ones. And as you can see, I'm up to skill level 10, which is in fact 55 straight wins. But here we are on Hot Bomb, and this is in fact my 211th match and will be my 211th win. So I did complete it on the previous match, but what I'm looking for is this pop up here. there we go, that is it. Earn skill level 20 in Arena Wars, and that is it being completed. So one last thing to do, just to let Greyguts take himself out for the final time, and that is it, job done. Now, like I say, this is almost impossible as a solo player. You will need people to help you out with this one. This did in fact take us roughly about 9 hours over the course of 3 or 4 days. And it was unfortunately only myself that completed all 210 wins. So do be prepared to swap over and help each other out. I am in fact in the middle of helping Roughwood out, so that is going to be at least another 8 hours worth of play. But here you can see once it's completed, I do go in and collect the 5,000 RP, 150,000 GTA dollars, and that snack merger hoodie. I do need to give a huge massive shout out to Greyguts93, who you can follow both on Twitch and YouTube, for helping me out. But there you have it guys, that's it from me for today. If you did enjoy today's video, do leave a like, and if you are new here, why not consider subscribing. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.